This is Klara, a rival in the Isle of Armor DLC exclusive to Pokemon Sword. Shield gets Avery. She is a failed underground pop singer who decided to become the leader of the Poison-type gym in the Galar region. But there isn't a Poison-type gym in the Galar region, at least not amongst the main 8. That's because Klara quit her position 2 days later because, and I quote, "it was a lot harsher than Klara was ready for." Talk about being a lazy slacker. Now she has gone to the Isle of Armor to train up her team and, more importantly, learn how to apply herself. And I'm here to find out if that training worked out. I'm here to see if Klara could become champion. To do so, I played through the entire game matching her team as close as possible and only allowing 1 healing item per battle. Now let's begin.
Wow, I did it! I found some max mushrooms.
Ho ho, nice work, Klara. That makes you the first person to pass the final trial.
I did it!
And as a reward for completing all 3 trials, I give you the secret armor of the Master Dojo!
Yes! With the secret armor, I'll definitely become popular. So, what is this secret armor?
I'm not a what, I'm a who. Oh right, I should mention that this is part of a more narrative-based series where I follow along the video's trainer as a Pokemon on their team. You don't need to have seen any of the other episodes to enjoy this video, but if you're interested in the concept, do check the rest of them out, link in the description. Also, my super secret sources tell me that you should definitely leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, since it helps me out a lot. Now back to the video.
Vasko, you aren't supposed to be a Wooloo anymore, remember?
Oh right, 1 second.
Master Mustard, what's going on here? I'm pretty sure that was just a Wooloo.
I should apologize on Vasko's behalf. He was supposed to take a different form before meeting you, but he's rather impatient.
You called?
Ah, there you are. This is Klara, your new partner.
Oh, a Bulbasaur! Everyone loves Bulbasaur. With this Pokemon, I'll be famous for sure.
This is my new partner? She seems like the kind of person who only cares about how many likes they get on social media.
She's got talent, that's for sure, but up until now, she's been doing the bare minimum to get by. I'm hoping you'll help awaken some sort of passion or drive within her. Well, that's that. Good luck.
And just like that, I joined Klara as a Pokemon on her team. Since she was already signed up for the upcoming Galar Gym Challenge, Klara took some selfies and grabbed a cab to Milo's gym in Turffield. This is when I realized just how lazy this girl was. Who goes to battle the gym leader without healing their lead Pokemon first? Thankfully, her Slowpoke does have a super effective move to use against Milo's Gossifleur, but gets knocked out first since it started the battle with a handicap. Out next is a Venipede Klara caught in the forest to focus while looking for mushrooms, and it knows Poison Tail, which will definitely come in handy against Milo. Klara decides to loaf around and protect during Milo's first turn of Dynamax, then tanks a Max Overgrowth and tries to poison his Eldegoss. Since her attacks didn't do much, Klara decided to waste another turn of Dynamax by protecting, and now Eldegoss is back to normal, taking a decent amount of damage from a super effective Poison Tail, but her HP is too low to do much else. For her final Pokemon, Klara has another Slowpoke, which she Dynamaxes and it attacks Eldegoss with a Max Ooze to boost its special attack, then uses 2 Max Mindstorms to win the battle. And a confusion to win the battle. Not bad, but to be honest, I would have been really worried if the poison type trainer lost to Milo. After getting her first gym badge, Klara headed towards Hulbury to challenge Nessa. Since her Slowpoke are pretty weak, Klara starts the battle by putting Goldie to sleep and then spamming confusion. However, the fish wakes up and finishes us off with a water pulse. Venipede comes in to get revenge, but is so slow that Goldie gets to do some major damage first. Then Arrokuda slaps us with an Aqua Jet, and since her poison tail attacks weren't doing much damage, Venipede goes down as well. Once again, Klara was being lazy and decided to attack the fish without Dynamaxing her final Pokemon, which wasn't a good idea since Slowpoke is so weak, and Arrokuda knows Bite, meaning that our health is in the yellow when Dreadnought comes out, and since the turtle is fast, it finishes off Slowpoke before it could put it to sleep. I guess that leaves me. Oh no.
Not good. Not good at all, man. If I can't beat Nessa, nobody's gonna pay attention to me.
Really? That's what you care about?
Well, yeah. How else am I supposed to succeed in life?
What are you on about? I thought you were trying to become champion.
Well, obviously, but I can't become champion unless I'm famous.
What?
Look at that Marnie girl. She's so famous, her fans are causing trouble and slowing down other challengers. Even though Marnie isn't that good at battles, her fame is directly helping her during the gym challenge. And as you just saw, my team isn't that strong either, so I also need to become famous. Then my fans can help me win this gym challenge.
I think you're missing the point here, Klara.
So, Mr. Secret Armor, how can I win this?
An attitude change, I guess?
Am I being mocked? I completed all 3 of Mustard's trials to get you. Now you're gonna help me win. Or else.
Or else what?
Or else I'll melt you down to size. 'Kay?
With what? I'm not scared of poison anymore. Besides, you're actually gonna have to work if you want to win this battle.
Oh, so you do know how I can win.
Fine. Clara's team has the same issue as her psychic type counterpart. They both use 2 Slowpoke with a bunch of special attack moves, the problem being that Slowpoke has a much higher physical attack stat. And since Clara's Slowpoke are too low level to know some of the more useful attacks like Zen Headbutt, she's gonna have to go out into the wild area and try to buy them off the merchants there. Of course, she gets really lucky and found both of the TRs for Liquidation and Zen Headbutt at the first merchant she goes to near the meetup spot. The second battle with Nessa started out the same, with Slowpoke using Yawn and Gordie attacking us with Water Pulse, except this time around, we get confused and hit ourselves instead of attacking. Thankfully, it was a one-time thing and Gordie slept through the rest of our attacks, which were doing so much more damage than confusion. Venipede comes out to face the Arracuda, attack with Bug Bites that were doing more damage than the fish's Aqua Jets, meaning Dreadnought has to waste a turn of Dynamax squishing our bug. That's a weird way to squish a bug. Clara also decides to Dynamax this time and uses Protect to stall out another turn. Dreadnought hits us with a very powerful Max Darkness, meanwhile we're still barely doing any damage to the turtle. Thankfully, once it's no longer large, we can put a nice dent in its health bar. But now that we're no longer large, its bite attacks are absolutely devastating. Yeah, there's no way Clara could win this battle with just her base team. Lucky for her, I'm here, and I ain't scared of that Dreadnought anymore. Now go catch more Pokemon or something. I don't want to have to carry your team through all the gym battles.
Why? You lazy or something?
Look who's talking. I'm just tired. I've been traveling around a lot, and I need to sit in my bubble, ball, and think about things for a bit.
Ugh, alright then. Off to the Galar Mines we go. Some pompous brat challenged me to a battle right near the entrance, and since he used Psychic type to take down my team, I had to ask the Sour Cabbage for some help again. I would have caught another Pokemon in the mines, but since there weren't any poison types, I figured I'll just do it later. Lucky for me, there was a lovely little coffin floating around right outside, and also Venipede evolved after all the battles we did. Now my team should be super strong.
I sure hope so, because I don't want to have to fight a Centiskorch. Creepy bug. Kabu does his usual thing of setting our Slowpoke on fire, which does come in handy since we're using physical attacks now, but Clara's Slowpoke manages to finish off his first Pokemon. Can't do much else after that Intimidate though. Her Coughing is out next, using Smokescreen to lower Arcanine's accuracy, then attacking with its weak Sludge attacks while dodging a bunch of Arcanine's moves. Since Coughing is super useful in this battle, Clara decides to heal it up, giving it a lot of extra turns to attack until it eventually gets burned away. Whirlipede is out next and starts setting up a rollout, which will also work really well against Kabu's next Pokemon. Yeah, never mind. Knowing this guy will be a problem, Clara Dynamaxes and guards to stall out a turn, barely tanks a G-Max Flutterby and sets up some rain with a Max Geyser. Our HP was dangerously low, but Kabu decides to attack us with a Smoke Screen instead of a Bug Bite, giving Clara the opening to finish off his bug with a second Max Geyser attack. I don't like how close this battle was, neither did Kabu. On our way to the next gym, our path was blocked by more Marnie fans, who challenged us to a battle in the scorching sun. Clara put their Stunky to sleep and tried to attack it with Liquidations, but couldn't do much damage. Whirlipede came in to finish it off with a Bug Bite. They sent out a Linoon next, which bulked through our super effective attack and finished off the tanky bug with a Night Slash. Coughing was also really weak, but thankfully the Linoon chose to sharpen its claws instead of attacking. Another win thanks to bad AI. The second grunt had a Liepard, which finished off Coughing with its Fury Swipes and then took its time taking down Slowpoke by using silly moves like Sand Attack and Fury Swipes. Sadly, our Liquidation attacks were barely doing any damage, which means here I am again. Clara really needs to catch more Pokemon or something. I think she got the point without me having to say anything, since she spent the next 10 minutes looking around Route 6 until she finally found a Scorpy and added it to her team. After that, she made her way to Stoneside, beat up the champion's younger brother, and challenged Gym Leader Bede to a battle. Things looked good at first. Slowpoke had a super effective move to use against her Hitmontop that wasn't until it used Counter and punched Slowpoke out of existence. Scolipede is out next, finishing off Bede's first Pokemon with 2 Poison Tails. It even got to do some major damage to Pangoro before getting knocked out with a Night Slash. Coughing was the next clear choice, and it finally managed to poison something with its Sludge attack. It also managed to tank through 2 Night Slashes and finish off its foe before the poison could do its thing. But since it only had 4 HP left, there wasn't much else it could do. Things got scary when Bede set up a Swords Dance on her Surfetch, while we were barely doing any damage with Scorpy's Venoshocks. Our Dynamax Slowpoke was out next, and it nearly got one-shot by a brutal swing. But hey, at least it managed to knock out Sirfetch'd. Bad news is that Bede's Machamp knows a dark type move, so poor little Slowpoke is gonna get taken out instantly. And I can't do anything against a giant 4-armed buff guy. Do I look like I lift? I'm a Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur don't lift.
Curse that bee. Maybe I should have given her a poisoned clock cookie or something.
Are you seriously thinking about poisoning someone? You know that's very illegal, right?
Ugh, you're right. I was just joking, Kay? But she does drive me crazy.
And why is that?
Just look at her, standing there, mindlessly enjoying a Castelia cone. She was lucky enough to be born to a family of martial arts experts. So, of course, she's super strong. The worst part is she's also somehow super popular.
You got a point. She has been the most requested trainer in the series.
See? What bugs me the most is that there's no reason for her to be popular at all.
What do you mean?
Think about it. All she does is eat sweets and work out. She has no personality, no cuteness, and no real achievements.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you. Why do people like you so much?
Oh, I have no idea, but I also don't care much for it.
Oh, so you're gonna lie to me then?
No, I simply focus on my training. Whether or not people see the value in it doesn't matter to me. It's my passion. I do it for myself, not for others. And definitely not for fame.
What a load of buffalon. If you don't care about fame, then why do you always start your gym battles by sticking your foot out for the world to see?
You may have a talent for battles, but your mentality certainly is toxic, Gym Challenger. What you are referring to is simply a movement that helps my mind focus on the battle at hand, nothing more.
Ugh, I've had it with you. I've gotta get going.
Poor girl. I hope she can find something she's passionate about instead of blindly chasing the idea of fame.
When Klara ran off, I was expecting her to just kinda quit the gym challenge entirely. After all, she's been pretty lazy and entitled so far, or perhaps too lucky to have put in much effort. But this time, she took some initiative and went to train in the Dynamax stands on the Isle of Armor. She did get kind of lucky again, running into a Chansey den, which gave her a lot of experience candies for free, allowing her to quickly evolve Coughing and give it some more useful moves with the help of the cafe guy. She then quickly came back to rematch B, starting the battle the same way as before, Slowpoke using Zen Headbutt and Hitmontop knocking it out with a counter. But then she sends out Weezing, who now knows Strange Steam, allowing it to finish off Hitmontop, one-shot the Pangoro and deal major damage to Sirfetch'd, who couldn't do much damage to us since Weezing packs a lot of physical bulk. So Sirfetch'd also goes down the next turn. B's Gigantamax Machamp hits pretty hard, but Weezing also knows Protect, allowing us to bulk an extra turn and successfully stalling out all 3 turns of Dynamax. Scolipede enters the battle, attacking Machamp with a Poison Tail and bulking through a Revenge and a Strength, then knocking out B's final Pokemon with ease. Geez, all she did was apply herself for 5 minutes and Klara completely changed the outcome of this battle. Now if only she would start doing that before the battles rather than waiting until she loses. Anyways, Klara quickly runs over to Ballonly to face off against Opal next. She had heard this gym doubles as an audition for the Fairy type gym leader position, and even though Klara has one Fairy type Pokemon on her team, she thought that maybe getting picked by the choosy Opal as the next gym leader would surely boost her popularity, so she wanted to give this battle her all. Slowpoke instantly gets poisoned by Opal's Weezing, but its Zen Headbutt is strong enough to knock out the Gas Ball before succumbing to poison. Next up is Klara's own Weezing, which happens to know Heat Wave, a very useful move against the likes of Mawile. Opal's Togekiss also has a weakness to Klara's Sludge Bomb, meaning she has to rely on her Cake for the rest of the battle. And of course Klara is gonna poison it right away. I guess those two have some similarities. Klara also likes the color purple, and she's got quite a silver tongue, getting her Weezing stat boost just by flattering Opal. The old lady desperately tries to leech off her health with G-Max Finales, but the move barely does any damage to us, allowing Weezing to easily stall the Dynamax, and from there it's an easy win with a single Sludge Bomb.
So, how did I do? Can I be the next Fairy type gym leader, Opal?
I don't know about that. Your hair may be pink, but your personality is very much purple. There is no doubt that you're a talented trainer. I just don't think you would be a good fit for the Fairy type gym. I do, however, hear there's a vacancy over at the Poison gym. You'll fit right in there.
Ugh, not that place. The amount of work they expect us to do, all for a minor league gym? Yeah, no thanks.
So be it. Well, good luck with the rest of your gym challenge, dearie.
On our way to Sir Chester, Klara defeats the champion's younger brother in battle once more. Then Klara Clara explored Route 8 for a while, finding some shiny stones and more importantly the TM for Smart Strike, a move perfect for Scolipede. From there she makes her way to Surchester, but not to the gym, no. Clara goes over to the shop so she can buy a very cute fuzzy pastel parka, and then she goes to battle Gordie. I'll spare the details because once again, Clara was unprepared and lost the battle after failing to knock out Gordie's Gigantamax Colossal. And what was I supposed to do against a giant mountain? Climb it? I'm a Bulbasaur! But once again, Clara was reminded that she had to apply herself, evolving her Scorpion to a Drapion and teaching it some more useful moves like Ice Fang and Poison Fang. Not sure how effective those would be against the giant mountain, but hey. Her second attempt to battle Gordie goes a lot better. He tries to set up his Barbacle with Shell Smash, but Clara learned her lesson and used Yawn right away. So even though Slowpoke gets knocked out the next turn, at least Gordie can't do any sweeping anytime soon. And since Barbacle had to sacrifice a bunch of its defenses with that Shell Smash move, it was an easy KO for Weezing. Shuckle may be bulky, but it is not immune to poison, so Weezing plays the stalling strategy, taking a turn to attack and a turn to protect, letting the poison take out Gordie's tank. Stonejourner is also rather bulky, but tries to be funny by setting up a Wonder Room and Stealth Rocks. However, it is also powerless against poison. Instead of going right for the poison on Gordie's Gigantamax, Clara decides to use Protect to stall out an extra turn. Drapion is out next, mainly as Dynamax fodder, and then Scolipede comes out to finish off the battle with a Smart Strike. Except it doesn't do enough damage, but Gordie attacks us with a Heat Crash, triggering Scolipede's Poison Point and loses the battle to Poison. These poison strats are ridiculous, but they do wonders. After the battle with Gordie, something must have clicked with Clara because instead of running off towards the next gym, she finally decided to level up her team before the battle. So she went to the Isle of Armor to get a Galarica Cuff for one of her Slowpoke, and then Clara took a train all the way to the Crown Tundra, where she spent a considerable amount of time collecting Galarica Twigs for a Galarica Wreath so that she could evolve her other Slowpoke. And let me tell you, these things are hard to find, and I literally had to wait an extra day just to find the last Galarica Twig I needed for this Wreath. Having fully evolved and prepared her team, Clara went back to Spike Myth to challenge Piers. His Scrafty could hit pretty hard, but her Scald managed to burn Pierce's lead. Weezing was out next, taking out Scrafty with a super effective Strange Steam. Malamar hit hard with a Psycho Cut, but Weezing bulked through 2 of its attacks and finished off the Evo Squid. Since her Smoke Ball was low on health, Clara decided to heal it up and then finished off Obstagoon with a series of Strange Steams. This tactic wasn't going to work on Skuntank, who was quite bulky and Sucker Punched us away. Drapion was out next, using X-Scissor to cut off Pierce's last chance of victory. That left just Raihan, who has quite the bulky Pokemon and likes to set up a Sandstorm and Stealth Rocks on his first turn. Thankfully, Flygon Steel Wing wasn't strong enough to defeat Weezing in 2 turns, so his first Dragon got taken out, and Slowking managed to do some major damage to Gigalith, although Raihan did use Rock Blast to finish off Weezing. Sandaconda is always quite troublesome with its paralyzing glare, but at least the Gigalith is now gone, although that means Raihan will Dynamax and attack Drapion with a Giant Rock and an Earth Power. This left his Sandaconda wide open to a powerful Scald, and now Raihan would have to fight 1-on-2. Since Clara predicted he'd use a Rock-type move on Scolipede, she had it use Protect, and Slowking attacked with Blizzard, which somehow managed to freeze the Duraludon. Neither of our attacks were very useful here, but at least we stalled out the Dynamax, and without the extra HP, 1 more Blizzard was enough to finish off the fight. With all 8 gym badges in hand, it was time for Clara to make her way to Winden for the Champion Cup semifinals. Her first opponent there would be Marnie. She starts the battle by tormenting Slowking, who hits super hard with a Scald, forcing Marnie to heal right away, but it was a bad time to heal since Slowking continued to attack. Scrafty tried to scare us with its face multiple times, like 3 turns in a row. Why? And then it got frozen on the last turn, so it didn't matter how slow we were, that thing was going down. Marnie followed up with a Toxicroak, which tried to Sucker Punch us but didn't hit hard enough and got one-shot by an Eerie spell. Marnie's Morpeko finally finished off our first Pokemon with a bite, but we still had the rest of the team, like Weezing, who could one-shot her hamster with a Strange Steam, poison her Dynamax with a Toxic, and then do a ton of damage the very next turn. Sadly, we got hit by a G-Max News, so Weezing fell asleep during the last turn of Dynamax, but even then, it didn't get knocked out. 2 HP, baby! As soon as Marnie's Dynamax ran out, there was nothing else she could do to save her Grimmsnarl from defeat. See, at the end of the day, it didn't matter how popular Marnie was or how many fans she had, you still won, Clara.
Actually, it did matter, because if I can win against a popular trainer like her, then I can become even more popular. Think of all the Marnie fans who'll notice me now that I defeated their precious little princess.
Oh no, you're completely missing the point.
Am I really though? Look who we're fighting next.
Hop, he's just some kid from middle of nowhere Potswick.
He's not just some kid, he's the champion's younger brother, and he's the only trainer to ever receive a recommendation letter from Leon himself. Hop's been the talk of the town. Anyone who's anyone has had their eyes on him this entire time.
I don't see it.
Of course you don't, Mr. Secret Armor. In this world, who you are and who you know matters so much more than what you can do. Hop and Marnie are both relatives of very well-known trainers in the Galar region, so of course they'd make it to the semifinals. They had it easy.
Yeah, okay, you're very wrong here, Clara. Team Yell literally had to slow everyone down so that Marnie could have enough time to collect all 8 gym badges, and Hop really struggled building a team that lives up to the great expectations placed upon him by being the champion's younger brother. Both of them struggled a lot to get here.
That's the point, Secret Armor. If they weren't famous to begin with, neither of them would have made it this far. If Hop never had the pressure to optimize his team, he would have failed to the gym challenge. And if Marnie didn't have Team Yell tripping everyone over, she wouldn't have collected the 8 badges in time. They aren't particularly skilled, but they got this far because of their fame. It's not fair, you know?
Clara?
Why must I put on 10 times their effort just to get to the same position as them? Why doesn't my skill matter?
Hey, snap out of it, will ya? Your skill does matter. Even if Marnie had good fortune to get this far, at the end, it's your skills that keep you going further than Marnie. And now it's time to fight Hop. Show him what your skill is worth. He tries to buff up his sheep with a cotton guard, but it's useless since Slowking has special attacks. This got Hop to also use up his healing item on his first Pokemon, although it was worth it in his case since Double managed to knock out Slowking after paralyzing it. Drapion struggled to chip away at Double's health and also got paralyzed in the process, eventually going down to a body slam. Weezing was out next and finished it off with a heat wave. Knowing we're special attackers, Hop followed up with Snorlax, but knowing it's specially bulky, Klara went for the poison strategy, then started wasting turns by spamming Protect. She did have to eventually try an attack which left Weezing wide open to a heavy slam. Thankfully, Scolipede also knows Protect, so we can stall it even more and eventually finish off Slowpoke with a Smart Strike. Corviknight was gonna be a problem since we're weak to flying type moves and had nothing useful to hit it with. This meant it was time for Klara to Dynamax and set up Rain with Max Geyser. Hop sent out Pink Urchin next so Klara could use Max Ooze for some damage and a small special attack boost before her Dynamax ran out. This meant this Slowbro would have to solo Hop's giant Rillaboom, taking it out with a quick draw side shell armed. Clara's last opponent in the semifinals would be Bede, the new fairy type gym leader selected by Opal. His Maiwao was very troublesome thanks to its super effective crunch attack, but it was quite weak to Weezing's Heat Wave. Gardevoir tried to set up a Calm Mind, so Klara set up a Toxic. I guess she learned her lesson from Gordie about how to take care of sweepers setting up, although we did eventually get one shot by Gardevoir's Psychic. Thankfully, her HP was so low that Drapion could swoop in and finish it off with a Poison Fang. Rapidash tried attacking us with a Dazzling Gleam, but couldn't do much damage and also got knocked out by our Poison Fangs. This left Bede with just his giant Hatterene, which also got poisoned from our attack. Klara decided to play it safe and protect with Scolipede, which was a smart move since Bede attacked with a Max Flare. Then we did some major damage with a Smart Strike before getting knocked out. Bede's Dynamax was done and he quickly healed up his last Pokemon before Klara Dynamax Slowbro and brought its health down to 1 with Max Ooze. And with that, one more attack was enough to finish off the new fairy type gym leader and send Klara to the finals.
So that's who she chose to be gym leader? Pathetic.
What's wrong? I sent some salt.
I just can't believe Opal would pass me up for the role and then give it to some loser like Bede.
I thought you didn't want to be gym leader.
I don't want to be the poison type gym leader.
Why is that?
Because it's in the minor league. Sure, it's easy to just take on the role. There's literally zero competition for it. But nobody cares about the minor league gyms.
Well, you're pretty strong. You could bring it up to the major leagues, right?
I tried that and it didn't work.
You tried for 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days is all it took to realize it would take years to maybe get the poison gym in the major league. I can't just waste all my time and energy on something that might not go anywhere.
Did something happen, Clara? Why are you in such a rush to reach fame and success?
Help me become champion, and I'll tell you.
Alright, let's go. In the interest of time, I won't cover the finals in too much detail. Clara had already battled Nessa, Bede, and Raihan during the gym challenge and learned enough about their battle styles to defeat them without breaking a sweat. When Chairman Rose interrupted the battle for champion, Clara stomped over to his office and beat up his team using Weezing's Heat Waves and Slowbro's Max Knuckle. Eternatus was also easily defeated thanks to Slowking's eerie spells, and since she was too determined to let the world end before becoming famous, Clara caught Eternatus in a Master Ball. Since when do you have a Master Ball?
Oh, that? Master Mustard gave it to me since I was the only one to complete his second trial.
You realize what that means, right?
No? What does it mean?
Well, only the champion receives a Master Ball, and they only ever get one. So if Mustard really gave you the one he had, it must mean he has really high hopes for you, Clara.
You mean the Master believes in me?
Wait, you didn't know that already? He literally told me you were a very talented trainer, and that all you really need is to learn how to put in some more effort into things.
Oh, I've kind of just been getting really lucky with things and never had to put in much effort. So if something doesn't work out with just a little bit of extra effort, then it won't work out at all, right?
Clara!
What's the point of putting in the extra effort if it might fail anyways?
Clara!
What? Are you telling me you've never worked super hard on something only for it to fail miserably?
I have.
Well, imagine if that's the case, over and over. After a while, you learn that there's no point in applying yourself because everything you do will fail.
That's some real black and white thinking there, Clara, but this is Sword and Shield. Maybe you got some bad luck in the past, but that doesn't mean everything you do is doomed to fail. And it sure as heck doesn't mean you shouldn't try to achieve your goals unless they're guaranteed to succeed.
So what you're saying is even though I'm likely to lose to Leon, I should prepare my team anyways?
Clara, were you seriously gonna go battle Leon unprepared? Oh my goodness, your team is underleveled.
Yeah, why bother? Leon's the greatest champion, and he's super famous. As if someone like me could actually stand a chance. But I won't feel as bad if I lost since I didn't really try my best.
Oh no, you sound exactly like me a few years ago. Clara, why are you even a trainer?
I enjoy the thrill of a good battle. It's pretty fun when I can outsmart my opponent. Makes me feel good inside, you know?
Good, great actually.
Huh?
I hear Leon is a bit of a dummy. I'm pretty sure you can outsmart him in battle and stand a pretty good chance of winning.
You think?
Yeah, you already outdid Leon once by defeating and capturing Eternatus. You can do it again, but only if your team is properly prepared, and I can't imagine how famous you'll be once you defeat Galler's greatest champion.
Maybe. Ugh. Fine, if Mr. Secret Armor says so, I guess I'll go train up my team a bit. And once I win, everyone will be crazy for me.
And so she ran off to the Owl of Armor to battle Wild Chansey and get her team properly leveled up for the championship battle. After 3 days of training, she was finally ready. During the gym challenge, Clara ended up losing her first attempt at almost every gym battle, but would then win the rematch with ease after putting in a tiny bit of effort to buff up her team. She was smooth sailing during the semifinals and had finally realized she should put in some effort to prepare for her battle with Leon. In fact, this is the most effort she's put into preparing for any battle so far. Now let's see if all that effort has paid off. Let's see if Clara has what it takes to become champion. She starts out the battle with her Drapion this time. Funny thing I should point out is that Clara technically doesn't add a Slowking to her team until the post game, but since I wanted to give her a fair chance in this run, I had the second Slowpoke in her team from the very start. When she doesn't have Slowking on her team, Clara always leads with Drapion. So you'd think Clara starting the battle against Leon with Drapion is intentional, but it isn't. She literally had Drapion in the lead because it was able to beat up Chansey a lot faster to help level up her team. And as you can tell from her moves PP, Clara clearly forgot to switch back to Slowking and also did not bother healing. This is the battle for champion, Clara! The battle for champion! I swear she hasn't learned a thing. Drapion does baby damage with its X Scissor, but it agitates Leon's Aegislash enough to make it switch to attack position and fire off a powerful flash cannon. Since Drapion managed to tank the hit, it could now attack the much weaker sword form with a super effective crunch, knocking out Leon's first Pokemon. Haxorus comes out next to finish us off with an Earthquake, which will be a problem since we're using a team of poison types. Thankfully, Slowking is quite bulky and one-shots Leon's Dragon with a Blizzard. Leon's second Dragon is also quite powerful, but so is our Poison. Of course, Clara wouldn't mind Protect stalling during the final battle. Shame? What's that? Weezing tanks a second Shadow Ball, then hits hard with a Strange Steam, bringing Dragapult's health down to the red. Down where the poison is enough to finish it off. Evil Clown is out next, but Evil Clown really doesn't like bug type attacks, so it goes away in a single hit. Inteleon tries to lower her attack power with its Tearful Look, which saved it from being one-shot, and then he tried to do it a second time, but it simply didn't lower her attack enough to help it tank a second hit. This meant it's time for us to face Leon's Charizard, and by that I mean it's time for us to guard against Leon's Charizard. With Scolipede down, Clara was also ready to Dynamax our last Pokemon. He attacked with a maxed Airstream, which didn't do much damage, and we attacked with a maxed Geyser, which also didn't do much. But now that his Charizard is tiny and there's rain out and about, we have the upper hand. Quick Draw activates, allowing Slowbro to attack first and finish off Leon's Charizard. Hey, good job, Clara. I knew you could do do it.
No, you didn't. I heard what you said right before the battle started.
Oh, I'm sorry then. I'm very happy you managed to win though.
Thank you, thank you. And now that I've defeated Galar's greatest champion, I'll be famous for sure.
You're still on about that famous thing, huh? Why do you care so much?
I did promise I'd tell you if I became champion.
I'm listening.
Unlike all these established trainers in Galar, I'm a literal nobody. My family moved here a long while ago from the middle of nowhere Azalea Town and opened up the Galarian Bug-type gym.
That sounds pretty good actually.
Well, the Bug-type gym is at the very bottom of the minor league.
Oh? I still don't see the problem here.
Well, since we're the worst gym in Galar, we don't get any sponsors. So my parents had to work odd jobs and long hours just to keep the gym running. We were barely making ends meet, and no matter how hard they tried, the bug gym was always failing.
Sounds very rough.
It was, and it is. It really sucks to watch them work to exhaustion and barely get by in life. Once I was old enough to work, I decided to do everything I could to help my parents out of poverty.
By working hard?
By working hard, yes. I tried the inn, the boutiques, even the cafes, but all of them were dead-end jobs with long hours, low pay, and no opportunity for advancement. It didn't matter if I was the best sales clerk they've ever had, I was barely making more than the worst.
That's how these jobs go, right?
Right, so then I tried a different route. When I got home from work, I went to singing lessons, wrote my own music, and even learned how to produce my own album, Crazy for Klara. Except after years of work towards my music career, I only ever managed to sell 8 copies of my album. Years of work, all for nothing. That was supposed to be my way out, but it failed miserably.
Clara.
But then I heard about this girl Roxy in Unova, whose music suddenly became popular when she became the poison-type gym leader.
And that's why you also went after the gym leader role in the poison-type gym here.
Except our poison gym is way too focused on research. I thought we would be doing mainly battles and concerts, but instead everyone there was way too focused on doing experiments for our sponsors RKS Labs. I didn't want to do research. Our goals were not aligned, so I left.
And that's when you went to the Isle of Armor?
You got it.
Wait, what about the being famous thing?
That. Well, I figured if I could get stronger in battles and win against Galar's most popular trainers, I too can become famous. Then it would be a lot easier for me to secure sponsorships, sell my music, and support my parents financially. Now that I'm champion, I can make it happen. There's a lot of perks to fame, you know?
I still feel like fame isn't the answer.
It's not. I know it's not. But it sure makes things a lot easier. I know I'll still have to work super hard to achieve my goals, but now that they're within reach, I'm not as reluctant to put in some effort.
That's good. Speaking of goals though.
What's that?
Oh, that's the portal.
The portal?
Mustard didn't tell you, huh?
No. What's going on?
Long story short, I got turned into a Pokemon and I'm traveling across worlds in search of a way home.
So you won't stay here with me?
I'm afraid not, Clara. You were pretty fun to hang out with, but I can't prolong my stay. Local legendaries don't like secret armor.
Well, I'm the most legendary trainer in Galar right now, and I like you, Mr. Secret Armor.
Thanks, Clara, but you know that's not what I meant.
Yes, I'm aware. Just promise you won't forget me once you leave, okay?
I would, but I'm pretty sure my memory might get wiped when I reach my final destination.
Ugh, you can't just forget me like that.
Sorry, Clara.
Wait, I have an idea. I'll just give you something to remember me by.
Oh yeah, that could work. My previous trainers all send a letter over.
A letter? I've got something way better.
What could be better than a letter?
This.
Whoa, what's that?
It's a pendant passed down in my family. Apparently, the guardian of the Ilex Forest gave it to my grandma with the promise that it will watch over and protect whoever holds this necklace.
Wait a minute, you had a good luck charm this entire time? No wonder everything was going your way.
You think? I swear this thing was bogus since everything seemed to be going wrong in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, now that I'm champion, I don't need a good luck charm anymore.
Are you sure, Clara? This seems like a pretty important item.
No, I'm not sure. But that portal thing keeps getting closer and closer, and I don't think there's enough time to give you anything better. So take it and don't forget me, okay?
Alright, Clara. I'll hold on to this, and remember the coolest poison-type trainer in all of Galar.
That's more like it. Safe travels, Secret Armor.
Goodbye, Clara.
Excuse me, miss. Are you Champion Clara by any chance?
Yes, I am. Who's asking?
Wonderful. Well, Miss Clara, I'm afraid the gallery is in grave